Debbi Taylor had a chance to visit. Debbi's down in the field right now with the Assistant General Manager and Vice President of Player Development, Bob Boone. Debbi, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Johnny?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, one of the reasons that the Nationals have guys like Drew Storn is because of Bob Boone. He is an excellent talent evaluator. He is the Assistant General Manager and Vice President of Baseball Development, and he just does a super job. And I asked him yesterday to evaluate this 2010 Nationals team.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I see is the improved defense. We've been talking about for several years about that and what Ian Desmond has brought to the table, and the ability, I think, of Christian Guzman to move all around, and for him to accept that the way he's done it is really special. And we've been pitching pretty solid, with what Clippard and Caps have done, if we can fortify that back in a little bit, I think, you can tell that we need some things to really put it over the top, but I think help is coming, and, if we can have a good draft again this year, I think there's some exciting things that are happening here.
Just overall, what are some of the strengths and weaknesses of the organization as a whole? I know you're going around and looking at a lot of the teams.
Well, our biggest strength, and it's huge since I came on board 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the minor leagues are pretty decimated. So you'd go into a town and go, well, we got, depending on who's pitching, we got no chance tonight. And now we have a solid chance of winning a game based on who's pitching every single night at every level. And we've really concentrated in the drafts of doing pitching. And we've got some pretty good hitting down there too, but our strength really is in the pitching staff. And we've got a lot of guys, we've got one star for sure coming. But we've got a lot of guys that are going to pitch in the big leagues. How good they're going to be, I can't tell you, but we've got a lot of guys that are becoming major league ready.
How pleased are you with the progress of Drew Storn and Steven Strasburg?
Well, kind of over the top, I guess. Something I fully expected. Haven't been able to scout them both and see what they are and know what their character is. We've really concentrated here on character a lot. It's very important for us, and seeing those two guys do what they're doing, like I say, it became almost expected. And it's pretty exciting to see Drew get here. Of course, Steven's coming. And, I think they're going to make a big impact on the organization for a long time.
Somebody who I think has definitely had an impact, and you talk about character guys, Pudge Rodriguez, and of course, he passed your record for, catching the most games. And just what has he meant to this ball club? Well,
it's huge. We took a lot of criticism by signing this old guy to a 2-year deal. And as we were talking about it, I immediately spoke up and said, wait, he's not old. I know Pudge well. I know he stays in shape. He had an off year and hit 250. I said, if you had a quality catcher that you knew could hit 250, you'd jump on it, and here's a guy that's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And as I said, I had my best year when I was 39, and I had a lot to do with staying in physical shape. And I know what kind of shape he's in. I'm not surprised by what he's doing, and having the ability to hit the ball the other way really slows the game up. We try to sell that in the minor leagues and teach guys so that you learn it. But those guys that can really hit, they hit the ball the other way. And that's something that was a strong suit for him his whole life.
And I'll tell you, a lot of the young guys have learned from Pudge Rodriguez. He's a guy that works out all the time during the season, in the off season, on the road, at home. And this is interesting. Bob Boone told me he was probably the first guy that worked out every day, not just during the season, but every single day for 15 consecutive years. That's pretty impressive. Let's go back to you, Johnny and Ray, for a little more on Bob Boone.
Thank you very much, Debbi.